is there any point in this video? Like, actually, if I think about it, like, I've done wish lists for career mode so many times, and it does feel a bit pointless. But do you know what? I like talking about ideas and thoughts that I have with the game that I've been playing for what... I've been making videos of career mode since, well, 2012. I started YouTube in 2010, so that's 13 years ago. It's almost 14 years. But career mode, 2012. So I've been making career mode content for well over a decade now. And here I am still making wish lists because the game mode lacks so much stuff. Do you know what? I haven't been playing career mode that much. As you know, I finished the MGH United save. I said I'm going to take a little bit of a break from career mode focused content, do a couple of challenge videos, maybe talk more about football and the transfer window. I went on career mode last night just for a bit of fun, really, and I think I managed to play for about 45 minutes before I realised the gameplay sucks. Like, genuinely, I think this year's gameplay is a bit depressing, to be honest. I think it's the AI, the way they defend against you. They just sit back, and even with mods and obviously changing some sliders and things like that, it's still bad. It's just rubbish. And then I thought, okay, well, what if I just do some simulating and just build a team or whatever? And it's just like buying players and selling players, the objectives you get given, the menu, the lack of actual new features. It is staggeringly bad. It really is. I think career mode, as it stands right now, for me, is at an all-time low. But the thing is, there are some positives in there. There is some fun to be had, and I'm, as always, excited for the new game. Of course, we're going into uncharted area. You know, it's not going to be FIFA. It's going to be EA Sports FC 24, whatever they're going to call it. But ultimately, as I started this video, like, is this worth it, this video? Is there any point in wishing for things to be added? Because let's face it, it's just going to be the same game with a new title. I don't think we're going to see much of a change in career mode. But anyway, enough negativity. Let's be positive and let's talk about some potential things that I would like to see in the game come at some point in the next century. Okay, so we are going to start with my first feature, and it's one I've talked about before. Surprise! This is an academy/reserve team within your career mode. So a separated part of the menu, another tab, whatever, where you can have a home for all of your academy players. And I guess I want it to have a separated calendar, a separated squad hub, stats, a completely separated mode within the mode, if that makes sense. So you're playing your usual games, and maybe in the under-21s, if that's what they call it, or the academy or the reserve team, they're playing the mirrored fixtures. Maybe it's just league fixtures, whatever. It's randomly generated players for all the other teams. And you just have a chance to take players from there into your first team. You can move first team players into there. And it's just its own entity. I hate it when I get a really incredible young player that's 55 rated with an incredible potential, and it's like, I'm not going to play him in the Premier League yet, am I? So the only option is to loan the player. But what if you had your own other side, an Arsenal under-21s that I can put a young player in? I think that would be really cool. And I think it wouldn't be too difficult, right? It just take the exact same fixture list and just mirror it. Just have, okay, we've got a game against West Ham. Guess what? You've got a game against West Ham for the under-21s as well, or the academy team, which you can then simulate or even play, whatever. I can't imagine it would be that difficult to add. And I want to make that very clear. This whole entire list is very, I would think, simple and not too difficult. But I think the key for me would be able to have the freedom to move players between these two teams all the time. It's always accessible. If you've got a player in your first team that's playing badly and you're not going to play them for a little while, chuck them in the reserves team and they can play a few fixtures there. A player that's just coming back from injury, you don't want to play them in the main games, but you want them to get some match fitness, some match sharpness, bang, put them in the reserve team and just mirror the fixtures. Just league games if it has to be, or just make it completely random and you're just playing random Premier League clubs every week. Like, it doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't even have to be a competition. Just have weekly games that don't mean anything, potentially, and you can just move players around. I think that would be a really nice feature. I don't understand why it's not already a thing. And of course, I know I'm going to get a lot of comments of this. This is already an FM, just play FM. It's such a stupid thing to say. Of course I know it's in FM. Of course I know I can go play FM. But this is a video where I want to talk about what I want in FIFA. FIFA and FM are very different games, although it's just football. Okay, FM is playing a spreadsheet and it's a lot more detailed. I like FM, I do, but I've always preferred FIFA because you play the matches and it's a bit more dumbed down, quick and easier to play. So don't put that. Okay, I understand. FM's a great game. Doesn't mean that I want some of the features from it to be in FIFA. Okay, and there's things that I think FM could take from FIFA, mainly being able to play the game. But of course, in FM, I don't think that would ever work very well. The next thing I want to talk about is changes to what we have in the game right now regarding training. I think I'm not the only one that thinks it's stupid that you have to do the training drills every single save. And that's if you want to get a good score or a good result. For those of you who don't know, if you just simulate training and you've never done the actual training drill yourself, you're going to fail it effectively every single time. The players will get the minimum match sharpness, match fitness, all of that stuff, because you're going to get an F rating, or is it D? Either way, maybe they could change that between like 0 to 10 out of 10. It's a bit easier. I don't know, but it's a stupid system, okay? You're telling me that because on a Tuesday morning at the start of the season, I managed to get an A in a passing drill, that for the rest of that career mode, they're going to be getting an A regardless of what I do. I can just simulate an A every single time. It's stupid and it's pointless. Training is, of course, an optional thing, and it always should be an optional thing. You shouldn't have to do that. Just randomize it. If I simulate training, simulate the ranking randomly. I don't care if I get an F every now and again, but I should also be getting a few A's, a few B's, a few C's. Don't make me do it once and then that's the same. Who thought of that? Genuinely, I want to know what came across that person's mind. They can play it once and whatever rank they get that forever, because that's how life works, isn't it? It's stupid, lazy. Randomize it. I swear that would have potentially been easier. I don't think people would do the training drills if they didn't have to. And feeling forced to do it kind of sucks. If you don't do it, your players don't get very good match sharpness, match fitness. And, you know, for example, if you're simulating a season for a video like I do sometimes, or if you're just doing it for fun, if you haven't done the training, it's not going to go very well, which is stupid. So I'm not asking for more training drills. I'm not asking there be a new feature and more cut scenes with it. Of course, that would be amazing, but I know not to bother asking for stuff like that. Just let us randomize it. It's not a big deal. If I get an A for 6 weeks in a row and then get an F, I'm not going to care, if I'm honest. Up next, player search filters. So I asked the question on social media, anything you guys want to see? And no one came up with this. I was very surprised. I already had this in my list, which I came up with before I'd obviously tweeted and stuff. Why is searching for a player so basic in FIFA? Okay, so I can pick one position, one nation, one league. I mean, why? Why can't I say I'm looking for a left-footed centre-back that can maybe play as a left-back as well within this range of age, contract length? Something very simple, realistically. It can't be too difficult. I want to see more filters. I want to be able to filter contract length so I can easily see who's running low on their contracts, because, of course, it makes the signing a lot easier. I want to do which foot they prefer. How crazy is it that you still can't filter whether a player is left-footed or right-footed in the game? You can't. There is no way to do that in FIFA. It's such a basic thing. If you're looking for a centre-back, maybe you're looking for a new left-footed centre-back. You just have to search for a centre-back and just scroll through until you find someone that works. I want to be able to target these players. Okay? And the other thing that drives me mad is, why can't we just select multiple positions? Why can I only search for midfielders as a term or individual positions? Why can't I search for someone that can play centre mid, CDM, and centre back maybe? It doesn't have to give me exact players for every position, but throw some players in there that have at least one or two of those positions. You can make a smart algorithm, EA. It surely isn't too difficult to add in some filters just to make searching for players a little bit easier. Now, of course, you can search for players using the Scout instructions. When you search for players that way, you can pick what foot they prefer, contract length and stuff like that. But it's such a lengthy process compared to what I think most people do. And that is you just go into Transfer Hub, search player, where you type in their name and then you've got a few boxes. I don't think most of the player population use the Scout instructions. Or not even just Scout instructions, but when you send one of your staff members out to find players that are already in the game, and you can fine tune it there. It's just a little bit too slow sometimes. What if you're on deadline day? Like, that's not going to work, is it? So I get that it's kind of in the game already, and if anything, that makes it easier to put in permanently in the other search player function because it's already in the game. Smart. The next thing I've got here is, I guess this is a little bit more taxing for EA to put in the game, but I can't imagine it'd be too difficult. So when you start a career mode, you have no choice but to start from the start of the season. And that's fine. 95% of the career modes I will always want to play from the start. Okay? Pre-season, tournament, transfer window, start the games. That's quite normal. But why is there not a live career mode version where you can jump into what's happening in real life? So, for example, if it was mid-February, you get to start the season in February and it matches the table from real life. You can actually play what's happening in real life. Call it live career mode. And why isn't there a challenge career mode where EA can put in a new challenge every couple of months probably, but I was going to say every few days, where it's like a relegation scrap. You've got 8 games to save Burnley from getting relegated. Why aren't there things like this? It's so mind-boggling to me that they can just release a game like FIFA with all of its Ultimate Team stuff that's obviously changing every day, and then just leave other game modes completely. Just, whatever, that'll do, and just leave. It doesn't make sense to me when there's so many people playing. There are millions of players that love career mode. I would love a live career mode. I really would. Just seeing a Premier League table after a really intensive fixture list, maybe we're in November, just before the winter crunch, and it's like, oh wow, Everton are really struggling. Let's do a live career mode with them and just jump in the middle of November. It'd be really cool when they can match the winter signings when they do the updates. So anything beyond January, February, you join a career mode with the latest squads. I just don't see how it's that difficult, but I guess it might be too much for EA to add in something like that. The next few things are very quick, simple things. Buyback clauses. When I sell a player, why can't I include a buyback clause? So if I regret it, or if they go on to do a lot better than I expected, let's imagine you've got this player that you signed, he disappointed you, you sold him, but you just put in a 40 million buyback clause. You sold him for 80 or whatever. Actually, no, it wouldn't work like that. That'd be broken. Imagine selling a player for 80, putting a 40 mil buyback clause, and then saying, I'll have him back, please. It's the opposite. Obviously, you'd have to sell him for 40 and there's a buyback for 80. That's basically what I was trying to say. Put a time limit on it, so you can't do it within the same season or maybe even 2 seasons. It becomes active in 2 seasons, whatever. And then if a team come in to buy that player, it sends you a notification saying, someone's looking to buy this player. Would you like to activate the buyback clause? Mind-blowing, isn't it? That'd be really fun. Loan fees. Loaning players is too simple. If you're able to loan a player, of course, sometimes it will say this player's not interested, whatever. That's good. I like that. It's not realistic bidding to loan a player that's a first-team player for a top club. I get that. But why is it so easy when it is possible to just get the deal done? No real issue whatsoever. You just pick how much you're going to pay, a portion of his wage, and it's done. I want there to be loan fees. I want a João Felix type loan deal where you're actually forking out 10, 20 million to loan in a player for a season. I think that would be absolutely amazing. It would make loaning players feel a lot more challenging, but also rewarding. I want to pay for players. I don't want it to be easy. I'm bored of easy career mode, easy everything. Players are too cheap and all this stuff. Put in more fees. Make it more expensive to be successful, because that's football for you. You can't loan João Felix for free. It doesn't work like that. You have to pay a substantial fee to do that. It's a privilege to loan top players, okay? And of course, if you're loaning a young academy player that's not getting game time, the loan fee can be relatively small, so it doesn't really impact you at all, but there should be some money involved. And talking of payment structures and stuff like that when it comes to buyback clauses and loan fees, why are we not able to buy a player for 100 million but pay it in installments? If I haven't got 100 million in the bank right away, that wouldn't stop teams in real life. Okay, Arsenal are about to sign Declan Rice as I'm making this video. It's going to go out today. I don't know if they'll announce it yet, but it's very clear we're not going to be spending 100 million up front, okay, with the 5 million add-ons as well, okay? It's going to be installments. Every big deal is done in installments these days. Yet in FIFA, you have to have the money available. Let me pay 20 million over 5 seasons to pay the 100 million. Work it out. I don't have to be the one that goes, this is how it would work. It would deduct from your budget. Go play FM, EA. Requesting funds from the board. Bring it back. You're telling me that I can't see a player and think, oh, if I can convince the board, we'll win the Premier League if we make this signing. Can't do that. Need the money. You need the money. Simple as that. Let me request funds. Let me go to the board, negotiate maybe improved objectives. Maybe I can say at the start of the season, I think we'll get top 4, and then change it to, we might win the league if we get this signing. Please, can you give me some money? Again, play FM, EA. It's all in there, as everyone is saying in the comments. That's in FM. More players available on the bench. Why are we limited to, what is it, 7? That isn't a thing. That just isn't a thing. Please, can we have a few more players on the bench? It does my head in. No one wants to put a goalkeeper on the bench because of it. And that's so stupid. Let goalkeepers get sent off and injured, by the way, which, by the way, is impossible, I believe, in FIFA career mode. Your goalkeeper cannot be sent off or get injured. Make it so I have to have a goalkeeper on the bench, please. I would really appreciate that. And just let us have, let's call it 10. 2 rows of 5 available on the bench. That would be amazing. I would like to be able to negotiate objectives at the start of the season. At the moment, it's completely random. You start a career mode, bang, there's your objectives. If you don't do it, you're gone. Why can't I negotiate my own objectives? Half the time, I don't think they're realistic at all. They're rubbish. Like, sign 3 North American players. Sorry, you want me to win the league and sign 3 Canadians? No? Let me negotiate my objectives. I want them to be more realistic. I want them to be challenging. But also, I don't want to get into my second season with Plymouth and win the league. No, it doesn't make sense. Please just give us the option to pick some objectives. Even if it doesn't actually feel like you're negotiating, just let us pick. Give us a bunch of objectives, some difficult ones, some easier ones, some somewhat difficult ones, and we can just scroll through them. Yeah, I reckon I'll do that one. Just make it more fun, please. More players transfer listed. Who uses the transfer listed thing? I don't, because every time you click on transfer listed players, there's either no transfer listed players available, or they're all absolutely useless players that are 63 rated and 29 years old in the Swedish league. I want to go into the transfer listed menu, I guess, and just see a list of tons of players that are just not getting enough game time at their current clubs. It does happen every now and again. The system's in place, but I want to see some gems popping up transfer listed. Bang, sign a new transfer listed player. That'd be fun. I don't understand why that's so difficult either. VAR, again, not really a big deal because, of course, the game can't really be wrong. You know, offside calls are 100% correct in FIFA. They always will be. And unless they purposely make it so the game can get it wrong. But can we just have VAR in there? Even if it is so obvious that I've just scored an offside goal, to see the referee blow his whistle, run over to the monitor, or, you know, hold his hand up and a few seconds go by and it says, yeah, it's offside, VAR, I've checked it. It'd just be cool. It's realistic. But also, there are some goals where the offside is so close. I would like to see us score a perfectly good goal, but it goes to VAR anyway, and then it goes, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's a legal goal. It would be so easy to put in because it can be fake. It can literally be fake and not do anything. It's purely cosmetic. Put it in the game. VAR is a part of football now. It's time. And I've got one last one here, which I cannot believe is still a thing. Historical stats. Can you explain to me why, as soon as I finish a season, it never existed? I can't go back and see who was top scorer last season. I can't sign... Let's use Kai Havertz for an example. I'm Arsenal. I'm looking to buy Kai Havertz, but I just want to see how he got on over the last 3 seasons. Oh, sorry, there's no data. Oh, okay, so I just have to base it off nothing. Stupid. Let us go back and see how clubs got on in previous seasons. I want to see top scorers. I want to see assists. I want to see appearances. It's dumb that isn't a thing. It's not much data. It's just numbers. Does my head in. I'm getting angry, actually, and I've just been going off for 20 minutes. Put it this way, okay? I love FIFA. I love what it's done for my life. You know, I've been able to do this as a quote-unquote job. I know some people wouldn't call it a job, but I've turned a passion, a hobby, into something that I've built a career on, okay? I'm very grateful to EA and to the FIFA series for that. But it's me who's put the effort in to make it interesting to watch. I'm sorry, EA, but over the years, such little has been done to the game. I don't feel like I want to give you guys any credit whatsoever. And that sucks, because there are so many games out there that do get it right these days, that do improve their game year on year, that do put in new features. It's almost as if they just truly believe that no one actually plays it, which I know they've got the numbers. And I think I saw the numbers not too long ago, a couple of years ago. It is in the millions. Millions of players every month log in and play career mode. Yet, it's treated like it's a dead horse. Thanks for watching, guys. That is my wish list for EA Sports FC 2033.